Hello, today's video is going to be an orchid showcase of my Phalaenopsis fasciata Ori Gem. So I got this plant a couple months ago as a keiki, and it is a rather small plant. And I got this from a friend named Dewey, and I'll link his Instagram down below so you can check out his plants. But yeah, I got this a couple months ago and it had this flower spike on it, but it didn't have any activity on the flower spike. And then it gave me this flower that has been in bloom for a couple weeks now as of, what's today? Today is the 1st of September. So it's been in bloom for a couple weeks now, and it seems like it's going to be in bloom for at least another week or so. So this is a small, or it's a keiki, but the Phalaenopsis fasciata in and of itself is generally a smaller phal, so that's a good thing for my collection, which is quite big at this point. And it seems to grow quite vigorously. I've actually kept it kind of wet. I keep it in this little gross thing. It's black because of the humic acid that I use in my fertilization routine. But you can see that there are roots down at the bottom. There are actually quite a few roots down at the bottom, or at least down in this little corner right here. But yeah, and it's in wood chips, perlite, and I'm guessing there's probably some charcoal in there or whatever. So as you can see, I have one flower. It's yellow with some red barring, and I think the camera is capturing it faithfully as far as the colors going. And the lip is really pretty because it's kind of like an egg yolk color down here at the bottom, down in the back, and then it turns into this really nice pinkish, purple, lavender sort of color. So it's generally just a pretty flower, and I cannot wait for it to flower more and give me like 5 or 6 blooms at once, hopefully. It's a little star-shaped, well, not a little star-shaped, it's fairly star-shaped, and I don't think it's going to be winning any awards due to the openings right here, but I still think it's a pretty flower, and you can see it's pretty shiny. So it feels like, like silicone, I guess. Like little flaps of silicone, like generally polychilous phals feel like. But it's not particularly thick. The petals are kind of flimsy for a polychilous phal. And Dewey says this one's fragrant, that it has a slight rose fragrance. And for whatever reason, be that the age or the amount of light that I have it in, because when my orchids come into flower, I generally move them out from under my grow lights, or even downstairs where there's much less light. So that might be affecting the lack of fragrance, but I'm not getting any fragrance on this one at any time of day that I've checked it in or checked it at. And as I told you before, it's been in bloom for quite a while, so I don't think I'm going to be getting any fragrance on this bloom cycle, but hopefully next bloom cycle I'll get some sort of fragrance, because that would be nice, even though the flower is already pretty. So yeah, not much more to say about it. It's a pretty easy phal to take care of if you can get your hands on it. It's quite rare, or at least hard to find, if not rare. And I'm glad to have gotten my hands on this one because I've wanted this species for a while. And I'll just show you the name, even though it's on the title, but just so you can get a nice view of it. So yeah, Phal fasciata Ori Gem. And this is not an awarded cultivar name, but I think it's the name that Dewey gave it, or whoever gave him the original phal named it that, because I noticed that a lot of the orchids on his page have the cultivar name Ori Gem, so I don't know if that's his cultivar name or something else, but I'll have to ask him about that. Anyways, this has been my orchid showcase of Phalaenopsis fasciata. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I will see you in another video. Bye.